let the world know the truth. Expose the lies, study the bloodlines, the aboriginal genius, let the world know the truth. Expose the lies, study the bloodlines, the aboriginal drive before the Spanish, the Dutch, and the British arrived. Saying we was from Africa, stole a birthright. That's a trick move, something that a dirty war would do. Claim your nationality of the land, you get screwed. So we studied the background, the treaties you wrote. Fake as history, I ain't going here on no boat. Frontin' like you indigenous to the land, you disgust me. The tomahawk back in our hands, it's getting ugly. You running around screaming black power, cause it sells to the truth. Rivers fell with a bull and high hills. Native American but hurt, can't tell, cause they know damn well the trail of tears ain't real. Respect the aborigine, this land is all you know, you all. You still a guest, motherfucker.
I have 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling myself. I have 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling myself. House nigga, real nigga, fake nigga, feel nigga. My skin ain't black, what the deal, nigga? Salute on my real shit, that is aborigines, owners of the land and every goddamn tree and every goddamn sea. Invaders ever cross, step foot on the land and you can step the fuck off. Brave, you can make a swing the sacred tomahawk. Fucking around with us with that black conscious talk. Fake bricks and slave ships, that's the reference. Rape with African blood, you gon' need more evidence. I'm American, Aboriginal, indigenous, you bogey did his name test. That shit is rhetoric, stay woke. Aboriginal, get out. Your civil rights acts, all you can eat, big out. The Stockholm syndrome, mix gets out. Phoenix Moon got the antidote, get that shit out. Meanwhile, rapping about my birthright, fuck a freestyle. Teach each man, each woman, each child. Black race is really Indians indeed now. Man, they indeed now. Holly Dog, Title 18. G goes, pilgrims get big gold. With Phoenix and Beast Mode. Bring them up, people out of the sleep mode. We ain't black, colors, Africans, or Negroes. I got 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling myself. I had 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indian grandmas, but society keep killing them, telling myself.
Howdy do. What's happening, beloveds? Chumachukma, Oshio, Wingapo, what's up, beauties? I got some spicy motherfucking meatballs. I got a bunch of little random different caveats to run through, but I want to just say, like, wow, this genealogy, this shit is amazing. It's so many people, so many of y'all Virginia Indians don't even know y'all related to Nat Turner. The Nottoway Indians, all types of stuff. I done found so many. There's other people. I was looking at the genealogy of the people that also were tried with Nat Turner. So there was actually like 20 people that got acquitted, about 15 people that ended up getting hung and convicted also. But they had people in different counties as well. But what I did find was some real crazy conflicting story that just fucks up a lot of shit that these motherfuckers be telling us. These are their own words. These are, and what I found is fresh at the time live feed, right? So now they flash back and they talk about how, you know, they caught him at Pierce's Mountain, and you kind of think that that's where Price's Mountain, excuse me, I said Pierce. The name is Price, right? So now they have you thinking that he really, you know, got captured at Price's Mountain. Oh my goodness, the fucking plot thickens. So I find this other shit that totally says something completely fucking different, mind blowing. I also wanted to talk about these little rapper niggas out there killing themselves. And shout out to you bitches. Y'all done raised a whole bunch of little fucking insecure ass niggas with a badass temper that can't keep their fucking bullets in their gun or their hands to their motherfucking self. Like, okay, so little Boozy gets shot. You got the dude Mo 3, he's dead. They just tried to kidnap somebody else over there. Or shoot up somebody else over there. Benny the Butcher got shot from New York, from up there, the Buffalo Boys. They got shot. Like, it's just too much. Why don't y'all sit back? You niggas been talking about a civil war. You've been talking about all this shit. Why don't you sit back and watch these pilgrims do their little rootin' tootin' shootout back and forth with each other? Because if you think this shit is over, you got another thing coming. And you Negroes definitely don't take no top seat to the motherfuckers that's running the goddamn country, right? And they showing their ass too. We got other shit to worry about than be ducking bullets from you motherfuckers that can't control your fucking temper and all this other shit, right? Your fucking pension to kill, because you easy to buck at these motherfucking, the niggas that look like you, but you ain't got no smoke for these pilgrims. Got to stop respecting them. Got to stop acting like they even exist. Maybe if you ignore these motherfuckers, they'll just fucking go away or some shit like that, right? Because that shit is retarded. But what's happening, everybody? Hi, Tiffy, baby. What's going on? Who we got? West Indian Makeup Mocha. Hi, Toya. Charlene Alston. Renzo, what up, beloved? Hi, Alicia. Jay Douglas. Selena. Pamela. Twinny. What's up, Danielle? L. Austin. Derek Gray. Hi, Taryn. What's up, cuz? Hi, Miss Pam. Hey, cousin. What up, Lloyd, beloved? How you doing? So, yeah, man, I hope y'all ready for Philadelphia. Now, we gotta, we still watching it. It's a real tumultuous climate down there. Motherfuckers get sick, so they say. So we gotta be careful down there where it's a little different. So we not going to have the same capacity. I'm gonna let y'all know now. We're gonna shut the tickets down. Couple more people specifically just so we can play it safe and have a good time without no interruptions and shit like that. So if you haven't done so already, you might want to get your ticket while they're still available. We got just a few more short days. I am super excited. I can't wait to pull up and link up. And this is what we do. And then, of course, we're going to have New Orleans coming up, too. Got the spicy meatballs. Well, Louisiana. Let's just say that. We're going to have a grand old time. And I'm excited about that. Of course, we got California, and we definitely coming back. We wanted to go back to Houston, but these niggas is out there wilding, and they're not discriminating, what fellow countrymen they willing to shoot. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reasons that they're fucking bucking their guns and shit, they better save them motherfucking bullets so they can defend themselves between two deranged pilgrims trying to fight each other over a can of beans and shit like that. Niggas better pay attention. But that don't mean nothing to the gangster nigga and a couple of other people, the civically more obtuse motherfuckers that, just think that they are afraid to think on their own outside of themselves, to think like as a nation builder. You can't, either it's in a motherfucker or it ain't, right? You might have to cultivate it, but either they got it or they don't. Even if that's a characteristic and those traits, those qualities, you see that from when they're small children, when people are young, they don't change in that regard. They can only get better. But at the end of the day, you can't make somebody want to be consistent and persistent with the causes that are near and dear to us. So I want to run through a couple of things so people know. Also, stop fucking with these fake ass tribes. And I'm not even going to hold you. I'm going to drop some shit and I'm going to show y'all where to get to the money at and all of that. But, it'd be nice if you donate. It'd be nice if you hit the Cash App, nice if you hit the PayPal, because this shit is beneficial to you. Can't nobody come in between the shit that I'm about to drop. So, help a sister out so I can keep my research going and feel good about what I'm doing and what I'm putting out, because I know people be settling for nonsense. So might as well just hook a sister up. If it's worth a quarter, you got a quarter your debit card, $1 your debit card, $5, $10, $50, $100. Whatever it is you feel like doing, show me some love because I'm about to drop some heat. And this way, you don't get caught up with the fake tribes, because if they can't match any of these criteria, and that's if this is what it is that you want, because you got to figure out what it is that you want. So for the people that do want some sort of acknowledgement, but maybe not per se the federal recognition attached to the other people, if you still have, I'm going to show you what the criterions are, right? I'm going to show you what the criterions are. This way, it's important that you see what it is that very transparently visible to everybody, that why we are trying to tribe up, so that there's very little room for error and very little room for people to come in and try and pull apart what it is that the Indian has to rebuild, right? Even in 52 years from the time of the Civil Rights Act, We have not got a chance to act as Indians. You didn't have all the foreigners come in. You know, they had the other immigration acts. You had all of the foreigners come in at that point. Another big bunch of foreigners at that point. You still had your German Nazi people hiding out from their war crimes. We had to deal with a lot of different people that came over here stirring up the fucking pot. Right? It wasn't just America's black and white issue. We had an issue with a bunch of foreigners and a bunch of people here that have come in. They've either blended in or stood under a particular umbrella. Either way, when the storm came, wasn't none of these motherfuckers there for the American Negro, right? But some of these niggas is just so forgiving and just so, you know, they all about the lollygag and about the lollygag and shit. This is what they do and this is what they expect. But it's kind of sad because it makes people that want the best things to happen for the American Indian to get out here and really still, you know, put up with the punches and shit like that. Because it's a lot of motherfucking punches and, you know, there's a lot of fucking punches that get thrown. And sometimes you don't know where they're coming from. But for the people that are willing, for the people that have the balls to get out here and be able to present something that the pilgrim will take you seriously with, that shit is important. And that's the type of shit that you should be looking for. You shouldn't settle for nothing else, right? You shouldn't settle for nothing else. If you too good for the first two pieces and the last two pieces in the loaf of bread, you want the motherfuckers like to reach to the middle, you still gonna find a perfect slice, a slice that you like, right? Don't just settle for something, right? Don't just settle for something. And be consistent with what it is that you say that you like. If that shit changes from time to time, then so will all your situations, whether they're good or bad. They're either going to get more calamitous or they're even going to get more delightful, right? Or easier to the palate, right? Sweeter tasting to the palate or something like that. But I definitely want to show y'all where a lot of these goodies is hidden at, and they attached to the Civil Rights Act, right? So when you tell these people, they talk about all of this anti-government shit, and this is the fucking problem. These are the same people with that attitude, and not all of them are guilty of sabotage. Some of them are just so ignorant because as a result of all of the pain and trauma that never got addressed, be it generationally, be it individually, or even as a collective, you know, in the urban community. We've seen a lot. There's a lot of things that we can sue, a lot of things that we can add inside of this genocide pie that they tried to serve up to us, right? We all agree that that's exactly what it is that they did. Can we just not, like, we don't got to fight with the Native Americans. We don't got to fight with ADOS on that. We don't have to fight with nobody on that. Nobody can deny the fact that the American Indian has had genocide committed against them. Genocide and ethnocide. The Supreme Court says they the same motherfucking thing. They the same thing. And that's what they've done. Stick to that. Stop with all your slave stories. Stop with all trying to call every so-called who you think is a Mongolian, a $5 Indian, or a $5 Native. That's not true. Stop telling every nigga that say they've been here 2 generations or that they fucking Indian. That's not true. It's not true. Stop offering up your grandma shit to everybody. You don't know who these people been mixed down with. Just because grandma says she like dogs don't mean she like pit bulls, nigga. She might like beagles, Dobermans, Rockwilder even, right? Be selective. Be selective. I see on social media, I see a lot of people and they are friends with everybody. They on every single page that say anything about American, Amarucan, She, Omek, Aboriginal, Indian. They in every scene on every page. They friends with everybody. Nigga, you dangerous. We've been here a while. For those that been here for a while, we tell you, baby, it's dangerous. Because you're going to have a whole plethora of fucked up information. You missed out. For the people that missed out and aren't able to do their own, we give you the thread. You're supposed to be able to get ahead with that, right? So you can have your own synopsis. It doesn't feel the same. But when you have your own ancestors and your own family tree and your own family stories that are so unique to you, you ain't going to want to share them shits with nobody but your bloodline can anyway. It's not important to share them with too many other people. especially the ones that are not fucking interested in what it is that's happening. And the reason why all of these things are important, whether you want to be federally recognized or federally acknowledged, motherfucker, you can't get around grandma. What do you want me to do? You could be mad at Moon for that? You can't get around grandma. I'm going to show you where it's at. And also, so you can know to stop fucking with these fake ass tribes, right? Because you got to have somebody that got the genealogy and showing you, right? When someone comes to you and they know who you are and they are able to show you who they are and who they people are and where they come from and what makes them Indian, right? Because a real chief gonna go looking for their tribe. They looking for their tribe. Not a tribe, not a tribe to start, nigga. Most of us is related, fools. Find out how. When you gonna find out how? How long's gonna take you to find out how? That's all we fucking need. And niggas want to slow up the process, will be these fucking new type of politicians and shit like that, but can't even tell me what district they live in or who the fucking judge is, who is the district attorney, right? All these politicians, all these motherfucking, come on, man, what is it for? Who you getting out of jail? You a chief, nigga? Let me call you. What's up, Chief? Halito, Oshio, Wengapo. Yeah, these motherfuckers got me pulled over to the side. Jake's got me pulled over to the side of the road and stuff like that. What the chief gonna do? Hey, call Phoenix? I'm sorry to hear that. That's unfortunate. You want to call? Did you call Phoenix? See if Phoenix is up. For real? I just want to know how that's gonna go. I ain't saying it can't happen, it can't go down like that, but I'm saying, is that how it should be? It has happened before, but is that how it should be? Something you might want to look at. Look into. I'm just saying, you should know for yourself. You should know for yourself. You got 4 sons and you have a fear of what they may do to your child of color. Oh, baby, you should be so proactive right now. It should be a bunch of tweets you missed, a lot of Facebook you ain't catch up on because you are too busy reading on how to make sure whatever city you in, whatever town you in, whatever county you in, whatever township it is, they know. Don't fuck with that one. That's my oldest. Don't fuck with this one. He the middle child. Don't fuck with that one. He my baby. Don't fuck with this one. That's my brother. Don't fuck with that nigga. That's my man. Don't fuck with him. That's my daddy. Yeah. You just... What's their first line of contact when motherfuckers come talking? I'm a minor. You need to talk to my mother. And I'm an Indian. I'm not black. You need to give your kids, these exercises niggas should be having with their motherfucking babies. You sit there and tell them they Indian all day, but you better give them something to show for it, or that shit gonna leave their fucking mind. Yeah, in one ear, right out the other, and they hanging out with kids that got dashikis and shit. So you better be careful. Nigga, your ass from motherfucking Africa, like it or not. You know they're going to be dealing with that shit. No, they're going to be dealing with that. What's up, Copper Color K? What's up, beloved? Be free, truly. What's happening with you? Hi, Cousin D. What's up, beauty? Hi, Nia. Pompano Third. What's up, beloved? Queen Mystique. Hey. Hey, lady. What's happening with you? What up, cheeks? So, gotta make sure that they fucking prepared for what's really gonna happen. Yo, this shit is bullshit. So let's just sit this 4 years out. And we supposed to be behind the scenes formulating and shit like that, making our wildest dreams come true while these niggas kill each other. Stay out the way and watch this civil war happen. It ain't got nothing to do with your ass. It's pilgrim against pilgrim. New pilgrim versus old pilgrim. Mind your motherfucking business. And get prepared. Now, you've been under motherfucking pressure. We've been under siege in our own motherfucking land. Another 4 more years ain't gonna hurt a motherfucker to get strategized and get fucking ready to make our own noise, our own pomp and circumstance. We're gonna need our own motherfucking theme music and a fucking new designer. When that's our turn to sit up in Gracie Mansion, or our turn to sit up in the White House, or our turn to sit up in the House of Representatives, or something to that effect. But it gotta be done. What is niggas scared to be successful? Is niggas scared to be successful? Niggas scared to put down all of the shit that don't mean nothing and pick up all of the shit that makes it all pop and makes it all not be in vain? All this bullshit that niggas done went through, don't you think you need some compensation? Oh my goodness. One thing I will never forget, Sister Janice said, pain is not a gift. Oh, I felt that. You right about that. That shit ain't no goddamn inheritance. But niggas sure been passing it down. Good and fucking plenty. Generation and generation and generation. Get the fuck out of here. This shit stops. Shit stops. It stops if you let it stop. Right? Some niggas is gonna let the tumor grow and fucking metastasize and fester. And there's that other motherfucker that's gonna cut the bitch out. And it's over after that. Might have a little scar, but that's okay. Surgery. Time to perform surgery and shit about to get motherfucking drastic. About to get drastic. Let me show y'all some of the shit it's hitting for. First, let me get back to the little Nat Turner shit. Because this fucking article here, it just fucking threw me off. And I just said, these motherfuckers. Slick, you just find all of these different little nuances. And they're totally fucking interesting. And again, I think I have it here on my phone. Let me read off some of these names of the people that was involved. I'm definitely going to tell you the artists, the artist family. People know the artist family from Virginia, North Carolina. Yo, they was about it. They was with the shits, with Nat Turner. Look and see if your people got acquitted. A lot of these things are records. And on the records, they be like Indian John. There was only one John that was fighting with the motherfucker, and it was John Artist. Or, well, in this case, it was Will Artist. But everybody knows that the artist family is who they are, right? So now here it is. You didn't realize your artist, your grandfather is not only, your uncle is not only Will Artist. He was there, a part of the Nat Turner shit, and ended up getting, running away and or acquitted or whatever. Bottom line is, there's a fucking story attached, a history attached, and these motherfuckers is running away with your granddaddy. They're running away with your uncle, giving it away to Africa, making them something else and all this other shit, right? And you can see where they do that. Oh my God, I got another thing I want to show you. I don't know how to interpret it. We could break it down together, but I'm going back over those slave narratives also. And in the slave, this one particular slave narrative, he tells who his parents are, but he does say that he got kidnapped from Africa. Listen to where he says he got kidnapped from. I'm going to save that until I actually play that shit because that shit is trippy. Where he says that he got kidnapped from in Africa, and he says that the colored people wanted to kill his ass. They never liked him. They couldn't stand him, and he separates himself. But the motherfucker says that he's 144 years old at the time of this fucking recording. 144. So this was back in, I think, sometime between 1934 and 1939, something like that. That little small ass window. But I'm telling you, the motherfucker said he 144 years old. I don't think the nigga's lying about any of it. Bunch of little spicy meatballs. Let's get to it. Give me 1 second. Y'all beautiful people. I hope y'all staying warm. What's up, Macadon? What's happening with you, love? Hey, G Major, how you doing? David Corey, peace and love to you. I want to give a shout out on some serious shit. I had posted on my community page, one of our beloved family members, tragic situation, and my cousin would love any contribution that you can give to the GoFundMe so that they can bury their child and send them off decent. The synopsis of what happened for all the people that, want to know what's going on, it is there. You could definitely check it out on my community page. Shout out to my beautiful cousin, Nyla Rose. And we want to make sure that we send condolences to our beautiful loved ones that are mourning. My cousin that lost their child. I don't know what that's like. I don't ever want to know what that's like. I guess none of us do. But so for well, I do, not a child in that regard, but I have lost children before. But I just want to say, we send a lot of love to you, high frequency vibes, beloved. And we all gonna get through this. And out the baby's now a guardian, an ancestor, right, and walks among the ancient ones. It's gonna be okay. Peace and love to everybody on that side, family that's feeling it and may need a hug right now. Just wanted to say that. Yeah, where you been, sis? Girl, you was gonna make me walk to Texas. That would have took me about 9-10 days and shit, but I'd have made it. I done called you. I was getting ready to call your husband too. Where y'all at? I love you. Tell my nephews I said hello. Sending tons of love to you. Give me a shout out when you get a second. Got to keep my loved ones on the radar and stuff like that. We don't get to talk every single minute of the day and stuff like that, but it's good to let everybody know that you love them. You know what I'm saying? You give them their flowers and shit right now. I'm not going to wait till you're dead. And when you're sick, I'm going to bring your ass some motherfucking soup too, right? Little reciprocity to keep the shit going infinitely, yo. That's a whole fucking fact. So shout out and peace and love to everybody out there in Texas, all the fam out there in Texas. Hold on one second. Okay, so let me get to this. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna start with this nigga, and y'all tell me what the hell. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about this. Let me just start with this brother right here, with the motherfucker that saves 144 years old. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, I got it. Here, go right here. Man, y'all check this out and tell me what y'all think about this shit. This shit tripped me out. First of all, the fact that, and this is one out of the so-called 12 zillion that they say, but listen to how he says they got to his ass and what's unique. And you tell me if you think the nigga telling, and not that it's not his truth. I believe if the man took a lie detector test, he is telling the truth when the nigga say he come from Africa. But listening to the grand synopsis, and you beautiful ones tell me what it's hitting for. I'm either going to open up the phone lines or I'm going to drop the link because I need to know what y'all feel about this shit. This shit was trippy. And I'm going to let this roll. Here we go. Okay, and this is Charlie Smith. And here it is. Okay.
Charlie Smith, Bartow, Florida.
The following is an interview between Elmer Sparks, Texas ranchman and historian, with Charlie Smith, old-time slave of Bartow, Florida. We've already got on the introduction on it. Okay. Is it turning?
Yes.
Nick Smith, what is your full name?
Charlie Smith.
Charlie Smith.
Man raised me named me Charlie Smith. My first name was my mother's name is Mitchell.
Yeah.
Mitchell Watkins. That's what my mother and father named me. Mitchell Watkins. I was raised in that, born in Africa and come from the United States. The state that was in slavery time that sold the colored people.
Yeah.
Sold the colored people and to bring them from Africa. And they brought me from Africa. I was a child, a boy. The colored folks wanted to throw me off the boat coming from Africa. Throw him overboard. I didn't cook. Throw him overboard. Let the damn whale swallow him like it's on his own. Hadn't it been the colored one wanted to throw me off. Hadn't it been for Legri, and the captain of the boat, Legri was a white man, and the captain of the boat was a white man. But the colored one wanted to throw me off the boat. And they were jailed. And they bring them from Africa. Liberia, Africa. We are born. And put in the United States. And the northern people bought colored food, put you up on a block and sell you, bid you over. The highest bid to get you. Highest bid to get you. And the northern people bought colored food. And the south bought colored food. And the northern people didn't care anything. Colored people. To the north say it's too cold. Home, you know, to stand the cold. But they got southern white folks. They got southern white folks to look at them and pay the white folks, southern white folks to look at them. And they got to mistreating them. So, and they come down the north and the south. First, fought war to free the colors. North and south fought war. And that was slavery time.
Now, did y'all catch this? Nigga said he came from Liberia. Wait, y'all gotta help me with that one. So he says he came from Africa. Now, one thing that was different about this particular one here is the fact that this man was alive in 1975. So this is what makes this particular Charlie Smith a little different from the rest of them. Charlie Smith in Florida, and I think he didn't pass away. He was alive until 1975. So during all this time, of course, they had way better equipment, right, than they did back in, let's say, the 20s, 30s, and 40s when they were recording the others. So this is how you can also hear, how much better quality sound it is, right? Even magnified. Some of these have to get amplified in the studio because they are just so, the equipment was just so poor and inferior back then. But this man says that he came from freaking Liberia. Bugged out. He got taken from Africa. So it was a little confusing how he talks about, and then he talks about his parents' name, but he says that he fucking got taken from Liberia. I'm going to let the rest of it play. We're going to talk about this shit because this motherfucker says that he was 144 years old. Then he talks about what his real name is, and guess what? His real names ain't African names. I'm going to get back to it. Let me get back to it and finish playing where it was at. Yeah, it's not African names either. So this shit was trippy. This was super trippy. Okay, hold on. Let me let this blow.
Freedom and general. Yeah. I ain't reading for it because I couldn't read. I know when it's done. And the man to put you up on a block, to sell you, to bid you over. And when they come down here in freedom, they brought the North brought the whole state of Louisiana and get into the colored people for their territory. Make the law and rules. Sell. And the colored people sold the rights, sold out to the white, sold white. And that's freedom. North freedom, the North and South fought war, the first war was in the United States. North and South fought war to free the colored people from slavery time. I ain't reading for it because I couldn't read. I know it because I already preached. Colored people know all this did hate me from a child, bringing me from Africa. The colored one for me off the boat. One overboard. Get out and brought over here. Was you brought over by surprise? Well, this brought me over here. The North, the people sold the colored people. Then they trick you to get you on the boat. They fool you on the boat. Fool the colored people on the boat. You see that white man? I was raised in Africa. That was in Africa, yeah. That was I was raised, born there in Africa. Yeah. With white folks, you know white people stay in Africa, south part of Africa. Yeah. They stayed in the north part of Africa. And they were the solely colored people in the south part of Africa. They put you up on a block and did you all. And the way they got us on the boat, he said, come right in here. That was the saying. Come in here. Color in you, all the color. Over in that country, you don't have to wait. If you get hungry, all you got to do is go to the flitter tree. Had the flitter tree on the boat. Claim that's the flitter tree. You go to the flitter tree. Same thing now, we get people call in the United States, call them pancakes, they call them flitters. Them flitter trees, bad that. And trees bad, the flitters are clean. The other flitter tree, it's on the boat. You got on. Jazz shows the flitter tree on the boat. Come on down here. Call the lower deck on the flitter tree, then it shows the syrup tree. The other syrup tree, it is on the boat too. Come on down here. And you call on the lower deck on the boat, they keep called the hatch hole. Come on down here in the hatch hole. Show something down there. Got out in the hatch hole, we should have thought the boat was moving. But we thought it was going back up there to the flitter tree. And it was leaving. And when it landed, you all leave. They were the colored people were so late. So, you're bringing us from Africa over here. The colored folks want to throw me off. Throw them overboard. Throw them overboard. And the white, reject. Don't you throw that boy out. Throw them overboard. Goddamn, make a damn wheel slide and make it dumb Jonas. That's what they said. Want to throw me off the boat. Bring me from Africa into the United States. Got it over here to slave you. You put you on the block to slave you. Put you on a stage, with the court is a block. Put you up on a stage. Just a matter of body. The highest bidder gets you. Get on it. I've heard of it. The highest bidder gets you. He attended his plantation. Put another one up there. The highest bidder who's never bid you the most, he came to his plantation. He had the white in the south. And they went to mistreating him. The color. Getting children by the colored women. No secret there. Getting colored. And the white find it out how they're treating them. And they come down here to first of all, over in the United States, north and south, spot of all, the treaty color.
And who was it that bought you? Do you remember who bought you?
Bought me.
Yeah.
Oh, I was when I went to New Orleans, that way they stole the people. The man that raised me, he didn't buy me. The man that raised me, they was kind of put you up on the block to sell you. He was Jay. The man was Jay. He named me. That's the name I'm going now. Charles Smith. He named me. When he took me. He raised me. In Texas. Galveston, Texas, where I raised him. The man that raised me named Charles Smith, and that's the name he gave me. He gave me Charles Smith in order to teach me and his children. He treated me just like he treated his children in everything. Not one thing, everything. We ate together, we slept together. All the boys, now we just slept with little women now. All the women boys, we slept together. I'm the cattle man, Charles Smith, who raised me. He had all kind of cattle, and all of us toted pistols and certain shoes. And I was on this colored cowboy. I got on a cowboy shirt now. I bought from Texas. Then had it all my days. I raised up a cowboy. I was on this cowboy, colored cowboy he had in Texas. His name was Charles Smith. And he always teach me and his children. And anything you got to have, don't never let it give out. And saying, enjoy your money when you're living. can't tell none of the reason when you did. He said, the millionaire died and leave all the us. And he always told me, don't change my name. And when he died, all of us, he had three or four of them. He didn't put no money in no bank. He had these little money safes. People tell me, people got them now in some places. In the house, you know. He had two in the drugstore, in the dry goods store, and two in the grocery store. That made four. Then when he kept his money and all his cowboy money, what we didn't do. We, all cowboys, wore boots. Half a leg boots, knee, what you call knee boots, come clean to your knees. Well, we tore it out over here. We tore it out over boots. And I was the only colored cowboy he had. All the rest of us white. We tore his pistols and rifles. We carried them. We killed bears, panthers, and things like that. When he got the stuff, he was a cattle man. He had plenty of cattle. And all the animals, bears, panthers, and things like that, and lions. They'd eat up the little pigs and little young stuff. And that's what we cowboys are carrying the pistols and rifles. We killed them.
Now, what did you do after the slaves were free? After you was with him?
With him?
You just went ahead and worked on them.
Well, when they freed the killer, we just say, the man would, when they freed the killer, they bought the whole state of Louisiana and give the colored people their territory to make their laws and rules. And the colored people sold the rights. Or they have to really get it in the world and property and anything. They have to get it in through by the white. Now, that's the way it's done.
Did you hear him say?
Can't make no
Wait a minute. They sold their rights? The colored people sold their rights and their land, huh?
Where did you go then?
The colored people, let me see, hold on one second. Let me pull that back. If you're looking at the screen, they have the when I do the playback, what I'm going to do is make sure that it's closed captions so you can kind of grasp the detail. But if you have your screen in big screen, when you play this back and you're seeing the dialogue, you can read what's actually being said. So now we got a couple of things here. He's already saying that he came from Africa and he was in Liberia. How the colored people wanted him dead. But then he also says that the colored people, you know, they gave up their rights and they sold their land. So how did they do this in Louisiana? This is so interesting, but these are the things that he's telling from his firsthand account that he knows about. Not saying that all of this information is righteous or it's the gospel, but we know that this is somebody that was actually there. And those things can, and you can totally relate to things like that. For instance, I have an aunt that I had to let her know Tammy Terrell had a brain tumor. She did not die because James Brown hit her upside the head with a hammer. So this is like a 55, 60-year-old rumor about Tammy Terrell. And they think between James Brown and David Ruffin, they done bust upside the head one time too many. And that's how she ended up dying young. So here it is. We have Charlie. He probably completely passed a lie detector test. You know what I'm saying? He probably absolutely would do that. But the interesting part of this is the fact that this is his first account information, and he lived until into the 70s. So you have a lot of these people that have all these different accounts of what it is with their interpretation, their first-hand account, primary narrative of what it was that they remember. Some of them were very young and have very vague memories, and they kind of tell it from a post-antebellum perspective versus the ones that, like this brother that says that he's lived for X amount of time, and now at the point where he's already an old man, it's long into, you know, going into the 20th century, and things have certainly changed so much. But Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about this. We're gonna have to talk about this. This is just a lot of shit. And then old Charlie Smith, he basically said his parents' names, and that they were Mitchells. However, homeboy told him not to get rid of his name. He told him not to get rid of his name for whatever reason. And he didn't really say much about the safe. So they, whatever money that they got, if you could carry in your boots, I'm still sure he was under fucking paid, huh? What's up, Cherokee Territory? I'm sure that his ass was underpaid. So yeah, this is definitely something else. So we're gonna talk about this. It's just a little bit left to it. I'm gonna play it back. I'm gonna let it run out, and we could definitely talk about that before I go on to the next thing and show y'all how to avoid these fake ass tribes and what it is to look for if you are looking to tribe up with your own family. So you got the perks of doing so. Here we go. I want to thank everybody that has been generous. Definitely. If you feel like it's worth it, if you like what you're dealing with over here, and certainly donate $1, 50 cents, a quarter, the loose change that's left on the debit card until the next payment you get. You can't do nothing with it. Hit Moon up, drop the Cash App, drop the PayPal. It is listed and definitely appreciate it. Okay, so let's finish up right here with Charlie.
After this Charlie Smith, he ain't big. Well, I mean, the one
Oh, he did all right, but where I went, he sold the colored folk. After he sold the colored people. After in slavery time, he sold the colored folk.
did you go out
And the first war was in the North and the South fought war. The North bought colored people. And the South bought colored folk. And the North got the Southern white folks to look after them and take care of them. They wouldn't tell them no, say it was too cold for them. You got the Southern white folks to look after them. And the Southern white folks went to mistreating them.
But did you go out west then, or
No, I
stay
wasn't
there?
I wasn't in the West again. Yeah. I was in the West when they freedom.
That's what I mean, after freedom.
Yeah, after freedom, I was in the West. I was in the call man Charlie when he went to selling people. He rejected selling me. He kept on the block. He rejected. So he ruled that part of Texas. He was a cattleman. And he ruled that part of Galveston. He ruled that part. And what he said, he went.
Well,
And when they said, want to sell me, put me on the block to give me he rejected. And he didn't do it. And he raised me, came into his house. And he raised me. He named me Charlie. His name was Charlie, and he named me Charlie.
well,
His name was Charlie
after
Smith.
that, did
That's
you
all.
go up to Mississippi? Did you?
That's the name he gave me. That's in my name, what my mother and father named. And my name Mitchell. Mitchell Watkins. But he sold me and he got me. And he named me Charlie. That's the name I'm going. And when he died. And when he died, he always teach me and his children. He didn't teach us one thing, he teaches all. He said, anything you got to have, don't never let it live out. He said, enjoy your money when you're living. Because you can't carry none of it with you when you dead. Enjoy your money when you're living. He teaches that all the time. And I didn't go to school much. But I thought I hadn't been used to shooting no pistols and nothing to shoot with. And I was so full of more my pistol and the rifle I had to carry. And I did anything else. But I was only colored boy. All the cowboys were white. We all ate together. We slept together. Not everything. Wasn't no different than the treatment at all. No. No, I'm Charlie.
Did you move up to Mississippi? Did you go to Mississippi eventually?
Oh, I've been all over the United States.
You worked in Mississippi, didn't you?
I'm a state man. I work for the United States. I go get bad people. I'm a state man, and really long as I live, they're my photos right here. I'm a state man. man when he bit the kid, man.
Now listen to what he says. Hold on one second. I'm gonna bring this back. Now he talks about
Man killed the president.
yeah, he goes in right here. He goes in right here.
United States, I was a kid. Had a 500.
He's talking the name
guitar and went back over in his state where he come from. That was Charles Guitar. And when us put out the $500 reward, everybody go get him. That was 6 men right at the line of the states. You had to get orders from them to go over there. Everybody go over there to get him for $500. Them men to kill him. Kill him, them 6 men. They kill you. If you go over there and get that man down to kill him, he went back in that state, because that's the state he was born and raised in. And the 6 men right at the line of the United States. And you had to get started from them to go in further in that state. And he's gonna, and me Billy the Kid, son of some over there, United States, named me Trigger Kid, but that's the name I keep. I've been waiting for the United States now. If you're bad or you're all bad people, that's my job now, white or black. If you do the wrong thing and they send me at you, already I don't get you, I won't see you. The son of Satan, the man killed the president.
It's right. It's right.
And you picked some fruit, didn't you? You done quite a lot of fruit picking? Oh, I've done all kinds. And right here. You're my picture. Me and this man, that's my picture. And that's my age. And it's a stroke. That's a white man. Me and him are the 2 oldest people in the world at that time. I was staying at a town called Albany. There it is right there. Mm-hmm. I was picking fruit, humanity. Yeah. They told me you were picking fruit when you was 113. Is that right? Oh, right. Don't you see? And see, that's it. That's if I tell folks that, that's in the state. Printed and sent to me to show people. Yeah. The United States. I'm on the way for the United States now. I'm a state man. I wait for the United States. I go get bad people, white or black. Don't care how old, who you is. If we do the wrong thing, I'm a United States man as long as I live. Were you interviewed by Robert Ripley? You remember that Ripley? Robert Ripley, he's right there. That's Living or Not. Well, I remember all bad people. I remember white or black.
This Ripley's the man you're pictured with there, Charlie.
Yeah, that's it. That's the reason I said. I showed you people. Me and this man was the 2 oldest people in the world and the quietest to me. That's a white man. And the state named me Trigger Kid. Me and Billy Kid when got the man killed the president. Guitar killed Garfield. Garfield was the president of the United States. He wouldn't know when I read about it. And then he killed him. Guitar killed Garfield. And everybody go over there to get him for them $500. They kill him. There were 6 men right at the line of the states. And everybody go over there to get the man who killed the president. That's what state he was raised in, the man down to kill him. He go back in that state. That's the state he was born and raised in.
Do you remember what state that was, Charlie?
Where?
The state where this Garfield went back in. Guitar.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember if I got it now. But I know he went back in the yeah. He went back in the state he was born and raised in. And when he got to kill the man, he went back in that state. Well, there's 6 men at the line of the boat. 6 men killed everybody go over there to get him. After this man went down to kill him. Utah killed Garfield. Garfield was the first president that was killed of the United States.
You wrote a book about it, you know.
And Utah killed him and went back in that state because he was born and raised in. And everybody went over there to get him. Them 60 men that had the line, they did kill them. And they killed them. And the son, me, and Billy the Kid. The state named me Trill Kid. And Billy the Kid, that was a white man. That one over there was right up there. He said, hey, where you going? They were them 60 men. Called them 6 men hooking bulls. You had to get started from them to go any further in that state. Where you going? Going across the desert. All right, you get started from us. You got started to be cussed. So we got started. We got started from the United States. Showed them this. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, we got down Florida. That's what they told me, them 6 men. Right. Told them 6 men hooking bulls. They read on, all right, go ahead. So we damn sure going. Read on all.
Hooking bulls.
Got to the camp. We was God. Told us we want to search. Y'all come to God today. Y'all come by the hooking bulls, we curse. So we come by some damn bull or another. Where you got started from the hooking bulls to search. The boss of the camp ain't here. Keep your time. Just working. The boss of the camp ain't here. He said, if you want to search, the boss in the camp ain't here. The guards are there. He told us right there, so it don't like it, Lord. The guards are there.
Well, coming back to the modern day or later, did the Social Security people, did they come see you?
Social Security?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did. You remember how old you were then?
Yeah. The man raised me, yeah. The man raised me, give me the name I got, Charlie Smith. I was raised in Galveston, Texas.
But I mean later, were you about 113 when the Social Security people come and see
you? I don't show it to you, that too. Down there. I don't show it to you.
And you're not
keep on asking him a question, that's the reason I showed it to you. I show it to you. My age, yeah, I'm older now, and it was then. I'm older now. I'm 144. Last year, 4th of July. 144 years old now. My birthday, I get a birthday card. I'm 144. Last 4th day of July. Last year. I'm 144.
You don't wear glasses.
No, I ain't never on that.
And you don't wear
This nigga said he 144. He said he 144.
The United States.
Like, I don't even, how do you even take that? How do you even take, can you take that literal? Can you, like, are we certain that this man knows what he's talking about? Why wouldn't he? So now here it is. We have so much documentation that tells us stuff, but now you still see that the oral stuff still has some discrepancies with the fucking primary information. But this nigga says he's 144 years old. So when he's taking a picture, he's so old that the guy that's interviewing him is showing him this picture is with Ripley's, believe it or not. So you were 113 years old when you took this picture and you were still picking fruit at 113 years old. And he says, yes, you see my age is on there on that picture. So flash forward to the time where they're doing this interview. And the interview, he's saying, hey, that was a long time ago. I'm older now than I was when that motherfucking picture was taken. I'm 144. And he not says it once, not twice, but he confirms that he says, I'm 144. That's July 4th. We can look up Charlie Smith. So if you ain't got nothing else to do and you need to take a break from the monotony, now you have a spicy meatball. You want to go chase down Charlie Smith and see what it is. Sometimes that helps you open up. But while you're looking up stuff random like Charlie Smith, Charlie Smith, something around him can lead you to something else that is so much bigger and gives you a piece of the puzzle. So history is fascinating, even if it is directly related to your family or not. These things happen, these things occur, and these are like unique circumstances that even something remarkable like this, somebody that has African lineage, you don't want to give that shit away. You don't want to give your Charlie Smith away. I don't need your Charlie Smith. I got my granddaddies too, my own granddaddies, right? But it's important that people like Charlie Smith don't go unnoticed, or the Mitchells and the Waddingtons or whatever he said his parents' names were, because his parents' names are not African names at all, of course. So now he talks about coming from Liberia and all these other things. So I'm going to drop the chat. I definitely want to hear what some of y'all got to say about it. I know y'all been storming up questions and stuff like that. Y'all heard some of the same shit that I heard. And I just think this is why I definitely want to hear from you guys. Okay, so I just dropped that in there. But there you go. You have Charlie Smith. So now you can also look up the manifest if you want to see what manifest came in, right? So they have laborers, passengers, transportation, and slaves on these same manifests, right? So if it's coming from Liberia, of course, it'll probably have a different port. They weren't just coming straight, straight rides like that. I don't even believe they did that when they left Baltimore, Maryland, to head to Maryland over Liberia on Baltimore Street, right? Because they did that as well. So they took the Indians from out of Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, USA, and created a Maryland over there. So now a lot of people died within the first 5 years. Everybody knows that story. But the Liberia story gets even fucking thicker, even fucking deeper, specifically because a lot of the people that were rowdy in North Carolina, now specific states, have a lot to do with this American Colonization Society, more than the people that are on that map, more than just the primary Confederate states that we all can obviously agree that there was activity attached to them via the American Colonization Society, which totally abandoned, right? The United States completely abandoned them. And then in turn, Jehudi Ashman, the American Colonization Society completely abandoned their settlers, in which case the Americans didn't have an army. Right? Not only did they not have an army, there were so many different criteria that they didn't have in order to stay afloat after the United States slipped out and got rid of their little liability. And now it's just a privateer organization that ended up happening via the missionaries, because the missionaries were still in Virginia, North Carolina, Alabama, and all these states. So now, if you check out what's going down, they can talk whatever shit they want. But again, I talked about this 2 years ago. Specific states had different things that you could and could not motherfucking do to a slave. In Alabama, the shit that would happen to any pilgrim, anybody that damaged any slave. So there's going to be certain cities, certain areas. What's up, DM Indian? There's going to be different cities, different areas, different counties that have different laws as well. For instance, you had certain amount of days. If you get in a felony in Richmond, you might have only had a certain amount of days to get the hell out the state. Right? Whereas in Maryland, if something happens and you're convicted in Baltimore, even though it's not long enough to keep you past whatever date your sentencing was, they don't want you around because you're still a free nigga that can get these other people uprising, right? So there's a big thing that they had about that. So specific states have different things, but we all know, don't let nobody fool you. People in Alabama lived a long motherfucking time. They slavery hit a lot different, and it actually lets you know exactly what those institutions were like. Right. And it doesn't have anything to do with all of the sob stories, the Kunta Kintes, the 20 lashes, the 15 lashes, because more of that happened to all of the pilgrims versus what could happen to a slave by law. So that was that. What's up, Amerindian? Can't hear you, beloved. Unmute your mic. Take your mic off. Look down. Take your microphone off, beloved.
Copy. Peace.
Okay,
Peace.
There you go. There you go. How you doing?
Sister, I'm doing well.
Good.
And I'm absolutely full enjoying the subject matter at hand.
Good. What did you think about that piece, like with the Charlie Smith?
Sis, I think it's absolutely amazing that you found that piece. Trying to find a connection to the American Colonization Society, and with trying to assist with the evidence of the relation to the immigration of people to Africa, and sometime bringing them back here, especially at the time of being that I'm from Jamaica. Marcus Garvey plays a big role in the understanding and the dynamics of when introducing Africa to the people.
Yes.
So now correlating the American Colonization Society, which predates him, right? Liberia predates in him.
Yes.
Sierra Leone also predates in him. When he introduced Africa into the story, now when I came into understanding about the Colonization Society and such a thing actually exists,
yes,
it gave me a more light to understand the bigger picture of how they're scheming this.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
So right, so they prepared an undeniable evidence that we lived in Africa. So that definitely fueled We're From Africa story.
Right.
Right. But this is a beautiful piece that you're finding. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. My actual first piece that I did, I got blocked for 90 days, right? Actually turned into 6 months. I actually got blocked. I did the Warlords, Charles Taylor. I did a big piece. That was probably the best Liberia piece ever that I did. I had all of these different documents that I was able to show people that loved it there and said that they're glad to get the hell out of America. And then you had people that said I would come back and be a slave forever just to get the hell out of here. I hate it here. How they had to get the people that lived in the Congo area to actually be their army to kind of protect them from the griot people and the Kru people. Now, the thing is, the Kru people, what I've noticed about the Jamaicans that went there and the Haitians that went to Sierra Leone, they fought in the Revolutionary War, whether they fought with the British on the side of the British. And generally, a lot of times, I'm going to keep it real, as far as Jamaica is concerned, a lot of people sided with the British. The same thing that we had here on the East Coast, Virginia. Either you were with the Crown or you were with the other ones. That it was just really it. Whatever the political climate at the time that might have been suitable. So here you have, even in Jamaica, you got half the people over here with Cujo and half the people on the other side with the other guy, right? Now, if you see Cujo's treaty, Cujo was straight up like, listen, I'm going to tell you, we're going to leave y'all white people alone, but anything happening to any Jamaican, we're going to be the most barbaric. We're going to kill y'all. We're going to Cujo's treaty was very, very flat out and plain. Like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to stop. But if y'all fuck with us, like, nobody's going to be able to save you. This is basically what he's telling the entire British kingdom, and they agreed to it. A little different. Nanny's treaty is a little different. It's a lot more subtle. And they just agree, okay, Miss White folk, we ain't going to mess with y'all. Y'all don't mess with us. But they also agree that they are going to return slaves that get out of their commitments. So there's different divisions and things that they did to politically separate people. I was listening, and this is probably one day last week, I was listening to people talking about Siaga, right? Now people can say, well, what is this white man doing here? But there were people that had so many good things to say about what he did. Like he was like a Donald Trump kind of thing situation back then. So everybody, for people that don't know, Siaga is from Massachusetts. He's from Boston, Massachusetts. He's not even from Jamaica. If you listen to him in the 60s and 70s, you can hear some of it that he has developed the patois tongue, but he still talks like John Kennedy. He still talks like a Boston boy. You know what I'm saying? Like with the, you can still hear, and the tell-all sign was the fact that he can't say tree. I'm listening to the dialogue. The same thing with the people in Liberia that were born from the people, the American descendants that left here and went to Liberia. The historian over there that talks about the Baltimore, Maryland transfer in the, I think it was 1832 or something like that, specifically where they brought them from Baltimore, Maryland and created Displaced Maryland in Liberia. When you hear his accent, he's never once been over here, but he sounds like he's been down south and he's trying to sound like the local Africans that now have migrated there. So even someone that, you know, we don't have the same culture, right? Because culture is local. What's culture here in New York may not be culture in Connecticut, right? Even though New England and the West, the Northeast coast has a specific culture that's unique to us, but Connecticut does their thing, Boston does their thing, New York does their thing, Jersey does theirs, but we all have something that's different than Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina, right? So that's what culture can kind of permeate in different places, but the heritage don't change. Heritage is so if you related to somebody that's from Boston, you got Boston blood. If you related to somebody that's here, you got that Connecticut blood, right? It's the same thing. Even though it looks like states here, each state is a country. So when you have all these different places in the European Union, you know that they're all different states, all different countries. If you look at all of the 50-something plus nations in Africa, they are all different states, all different countries. It's only here that they see the United States and think that we one just monolithic people and everybody was here before the Negro, and every Negro here was a slave. So
it's
completely different. Completely different.
Man, it's interesting. When I'm bringing up Siaga, it always puzzled my mind as to how come we as the original people of Jamaica turned to 1962 as the basis or the foundation of their historical subject matter, right? And I always say to myself, that joint don't make no sense. You know, that means you're telling me to cancel out the stories of Nanny. You know what I mean? You're telling me to cancel out the stories of Paul Bogle. You know, you're telling me to omit the 1800 as a historical representation and focus on when Parliament came into place.
Right.
That can't happen. I can't do that.
Right. Now, but now that you know that Marcus Garvey was a part of basically stealing nationality, and now that they've made him a hero, right? He works completely with eugenicists. We have all sorts of documentation that proves when they got tired of the nigga here or they got tired of the nigga in the Caribbean, they sent his ass somewhere else. So we know for sure that the Virginia, the New England slaves, Indians, right, that they tried to enslave and refused to be enslaved. We know for a fact they got sent to Jamaica. Where do you think they sent the Jamaicans? They sent the Jamaicans over here. They did like a crisscross. You know what? I don't like these niggas. I'm gonna send them over there. Well, I got 10 niggas over here that got the island all rowdy. We're gonna send them elsewhere too. Right?
Also, Noon, it was also stated that most of them was also sent to Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia was more the political thing. Now, the thing with Nova Scotia is where a lot of them were promised land. Nova Scotia was also British territory. So at any point during the Revolutionary War, if me and you are on the side of the British, Britain got their ass kicked. Who the new slaves? Us Indians is the new slaves now. We the new black.
Thanks.
So they didn't get wiped off by disease and smallpox. They got wiped off by the pen. They got their ass kicked. Oh, nigga, we told you we were sick of them British niggas. We were tired of paying taxes. We were tired of the tea. We were tired of this. We were sick of this and we were sick of that. Right? They had half of our family members that we had the argument with over there agreeing with them niggas. Right? While we saying, no, let's fuck with Britain. Britain want to make us rich. They don't want, they sick of the slavery shit. They want to make something work out. And plus they got beef with the Moors. They want to make their shit stop. Them niggas need us, right? Because we're going to keep fighting all of these people. If Britain was so fucking terrible, where did they keep finding armies of 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 on the fly to go and invade, right? Now, even with the American Revolutionary War, there was some prize that had to be paid because who else was involved? The fucking French. They would have never been able to do it without the Indians. George Washington would have never been able to do shit without the Indians that sided with them, in addition to the French. Remember, Cornwall was taking people, all the slaves and all the plantations in South Carolina. Nobody wanted no problems with no goddamn South Carolina Gullah Geechee motherfuckers with the hatchet. They didn't want to play with certain people who they was learning their guerrilla warfare from. Right? So this is why they were successful in the Battle of Savannah. Who was in the battle? You had the gens de couleur, the free people of color from Haiti, free people of color from Jamaica coming over here enlisting to fight and help on the side of who? The British.
Nice.
Right? So now Haiti, the people from Haiti, they, whatever happens, if they was helping the British and you trying to go into Canada and get your land in Nova Scotia, nigga, you forfeited that shit because Britain got their ass kicked. And now Canada is completely dominated French. Right? You had the middle, up the middle, which was once Spanish territory over in the Great Lake region, Chicago, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, in those areas. And then you had the British, which had the New England side, where Nova Scotia, Greenland, Halifax, areas, right? So now, when they talk about the Louisiana Purchase, are they talking about Canada? The parts that exceeded into Canada? Or are they talking about the parts that, you know, ended up being Illinois? Are they talking about what? Because all of those things come in with these purchases and they give us these imaginary boundaries, right? To confuse the fuck out of us in regards to how to place these historical events. So that's also leading up to what I mean about us tribing up. There's certain criteria that you have to have. Even if we don't want, you don't want federal recognition, that could be fine. But you want some sort of acknowledgement so that you can stand out and have your unique heritage that you're entitled to by birthright as being the first American, right? Shout out to the beloved ones, Kerry Davis, the Acromac, Guardian, Lyrin Cypress, Tasha Chi, Anu Thunder, Gabriel. We got a lot of things going on in the background. Beautiful Zena. We got a whole bunch of people, our beloved Penny Cypress. We got the American Political Party, Indian Party is going to start circulating. You are going to start seeing it everywhere. We need people to get this in their mind because this is something that is going to happen intercontinental, right? North, South, and Central, inter-America. We're going to have some sort of intra-America treaties, right? And things like that we're supposed to be dealing with to help each other with the issues across the board, right? So that as the America as a whole, we'll be able to have an exchange the ideas because a lot of things that happen that are going to be successful, we have to create the model only because we have a little more freedom to do so, right? If you look at the demo, I don't know if you had a chance to view it, beloved, but if you look at the Constitution of what they've done of Jamaica and what they've done, it's not really a lot of room. It's not a lot of room. And they did the same thing to Puerto Rico. And it's definitely something that has to be mentioned. The tourism money, even from Turks and Caicos, belongs to Jamaica. And the way that they word it is almost as if they still have a king or queen that nobody knows about, regardless of how independent that they're talking about. So one day, I got a couple of videos that I did a few years ago. We might be able to go back into it and just check out what it is that I'm saying. And I also have some links to the Jamaican laws that were codified and they completely blocked my fucking IP address. I shared it 2 times. I shared it with Darkman and I shared it with somebody else. And they wiped that shit out. Like they took it off the IP address and we weren't able to see it anymore. Not even from a random computer somewhere else. So there's some things that they don't want people to peek into. But commercial law is commercial law essentially all over the place. The same thing that's a crime here is the same thing. It's a fucking crime in China. It's a crime in Timbuktu. It's a crime over here in Wisconsin too. They all have certain codes that, carry a particular sum of money or a particular charge or obligation that they're expecting to have carried out. All commercial activity, any way you put it. So whether or not you want to have your own government and be to yourself and all of that, guess what you got to do? You still got to have some sort of documentation, some sort of paperwork. And that's exactly what I'm actually going to get into. I'm going to show you what the criteria are. And it only seems unobtainable to people that don't have their knowledge of self and don't think about self-governing, to a motherfucker that need to be told what to do. And keep this in mind, and this ain't no diss, right? Because acting like everybody is capable of pulling off certain tasks, people overstating their resume, that shit is foul and it's a misrepresentation, right? Don't keep telling us how good of a painter you are and you can't even fucking draw a goddamn, a kitten, right? You can't even draw a house, right? with the basic shapes, the triangle, the square, the rectangle, window. Don't do that. Don't oversell yourself, because we ain't really got a lot of time to waste. And then there's going to be all of the ignorant people that are ended up, they're looking forward to being slaves to somebody. They don't want to be our slaves, but some of them want to be slaves to white people. They do. That's what they're used to. That's what they're here for. And damn it, they're going to gun us down trying to get in their way. Let's let everybody be exactly where they want to be. We got to respect their freedom to be slaves, just like they got to respect our freedom to be free, right? Our right to be free. It's the same shit. I know it sounds weird. It seems sick, but goddamn it, this way everybody's happy. Because some motherfuckers is happy as long as we are not. And there's nothing we can do about that, but that should not stop us from obtaining freedom, which we know for a fucking fact. Freedom, wealth, land, good food, clean water, fresh air, and to be fucking left alone is really what it is that we're looking for, right? So a lot of people don't have those same basic goals and shit. They don't want the rights wronged. And they're going to be on the other side. And my suggestion to anybody that's saying, leave the motherfuckers where they at. They still going to benefit, right? They still going to benefit. The more you tell them you love them, you care, the less they believe you, and that's fine too. And they treat you accordingly. You better off showing them better than you can tell them, right? Some people just been through so much that they just become visual creatures and they need to see shit, right? In a lot of areas, a lot of people are like that. You can't knock on. We ain't got time to diagnose everybody's fucking, whims, grievances, and woes and shit like that. But what's good for the people is good for the people, and that's some shit that we need to practice. Put these no good niggas to the side, right? And highlight the quiet nigga that get up and go to work every day, the one that check on his mother, the one that texts his woman he love her and thank you for being the mother of his kids, the one that tell his daughter she beautiful before she head out the house to school. You know what I'm saying? And we need to highlight the son that tell his father that he love him and he's glad that he's his dad. We need to highlight the good guys and the good things that's going on. I'm tired of these boom shika bitches that's raising all these fucking fucked up sons and daughters and shit like that, and they getting all the we putting them to the back. The motherfuckers that respect family values and the wholesome shit, the good shit, the representation that we actually descend from and come from, that's what needs to get highlighted. We don't got to pay attention to nothing of these fucking stereotypes and all this other shit these other niggas got going on, because that's not what's going on in Indian country. They are not the fucking face of our people, and they not going to steal the shine trying to be no goddamn publicist for the American Indian, and they can't represent their own motherfucking family. Right? Because we a family. We talking about we Indians, nigga. We a family, whether you know it or not. What does your kin mean to you? Because if that's how you do your family, nigga, then we know why we in the situation we in. Next, we ain't gonna hold you responsible because that's just some shit you about. And we gotta understand and recognize and forgive people for their fucking shortcomings in that regard. The show must go on though. For everybody else, get motherfucking ready. Keep your laces tied, baby, because we going places. Understand that shit. Keep your motherfucking laces tied and don't trip, damn it. We going places. Thank you so much, Amerindian, for stopping through though. Definitely pull up anytime.
Nah, I appreciate the invite. Appreciate the opportunity. It's my first time conversing with you. It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Beautiful subject matter. And I think it's also a good connective subject matter.
Yes.
For those who's aware, So definitely, I applaud you. Thank you, and all who's with you.
Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Thank you. Peace and love, beloved.
Pieces.
Well, let me show y'all the other little piece that I wanted to talk about. Let's get into the Nat Turner situation, because a lot of y'all people don't even realize, and it's how people been paying attention to whatever it is they've been paying attention to. Hopefully, they've been paying attention to grandma and grandpa, right? Makes sense. Of course, it makes sense. And the reason why it makes sense is because we're supposed to be doing what? Tribing up. This is all leading to something. It's all going somewhere. It's all going to make sense to you in a moment. Give me a second. Hold on 1 second. All right, let's get this right here. One second. Let me get to this right here. And this is all relative. And I'm just saying at what point. And shout out to John Brown, niggas. I don't know if y'all got to see the good Lord Bird, but let me just let y'all know. It was a delightful piece. Okay. I know a lot of people don't like to watch stuff, you know, with pilgrims in it, stand their own motherfucking selves, right? Niggas, you in a minute, you ain't even gonna like your light-skinned children. Y'all motherfuckers is retarded, and you gotta stop the bullshit. Y'all have to fucking stop. I'm telling y'all go disregard your motherfucking kinfolk that you need that got information, motherfuckers that you don't. That's why I'm telling y'all, stop with the calling people the $5 Indian, stop with the this, stop with the that, stop and focus. Stop and focus. What the Trump say, stand by and stand down. Huh? Please, yeah, please, or whatever. Stand back and stand by. Some shit close to that. Just fucking relax and focus on grandma, because that shit is important. Give me 1 second. Let me get this here for you. Let me get this over here. But I definitely want you guys to like really just buckle down with this fucking genealogy so we can see how we fucking link up, nigga. My grandma and your grandma was sitting by the fire, nigga. Yes, they was. They was fucking kicking it. They was kicking it. They wasn't talking about no Jack and Ma, Fina, Nana, and all that. They was talking about cornbread and grits and all the shits. They was talking about that shit. You know, she rocks at the treetop all day long, you know. They was doing the rock and robin and all that shit. You know what I'm talking about? But yes, so these are some of the names of the people that were with your boy Nat Turner. Give me 1 second. My bad. Let me see. Hold on. I have this on my personal thing. But wait till y'all see these articles. The shit is so conflicting. Now, again, going back to Price's Mountain, everybody is familiar with Nat Turner allegedly being caught at Price's Mountain, hiding under some like broken fucking tree and all this other fly shit. Well, there's something else that totally goes against that. And then you also have people that have gotten the wrong impression, particularly when what's the guy? William L. What was his name? Staley, or something like that. When he did the Confessions of Nat Turner, right? So when he did the Confessions of Nat Turner, of course, it got revised again back in the 1960s. And I actually caught an article where your boy Dr. John, he wasn't a doctor then, John Henrik Clark, makes his commentary. And it's something interesting that they talk about Dr. John Henrik Clark that kind of made me be like, you know, maybe it started off that way, but it certainly didn't finish out that way, now did it? And that's no disrespect. You guys know that a lot of people learned about Phoenix Moon by doing Dr. John Henrik Clark's genealogy. I think that was the thing that made a lot of people fucking pissed off and was like, you know what? This bitch, who she thinks she is, she's da-da-da-da-da. And people started calling me names. Then they had pictures of my dead sister up, right? My sister that died, they had pictures of my dead sister, pictures of my dead grandmother talking shit. Who this bitch thinks she is? They not Indian, blah, 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 blah. And this is that and the third, right? So I showed Dr. John Henrik Clark's family on the census listed as mulatto. Then I showed the laws saying, hey, this says anybody that says they mulatto in the state of Alabama is of Indian ancestry, the Indian issue. That's really it. So let me ask you motherfuckers a question who have the grandparents and grandma and them from Alabama. And you be like, yo, Phoenix, I hit a roadblock. It stopped at 1870, Alabama. Okay, but they calling one of them the head of household of mulatto, right? They call a female in the house mulatto. That's the Indian woman right there. What you looking for? Some other paper that says, oh, my grandpa was sitting bull. That's what y'all dumb niggas be looking for when you already sitting on what you sitting on already. You got to take it in a little goddamn spicy caveats that you can get. That one thing can take 10,000 Negroes out of distress, right? No sound? Can y'all hear me? Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, beloveds. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I seen somebody saying no sound. Okay. There we go. So, I mean, what else are you looking for? So if you have one relative, one grandma, that's your Indian right there. Not saying that you're supposed to stop looking, but you're supposed to stop worrying. And at that point, you should be activated enough. That should be convincing enough to make you feel, think, and act a different way. More like an Indian, because you got your closure. You got your fucking proof. Now you know grandma wasn't motherfucking tripping. Next thing after that, you follow a couple of patterns. Look at the family members, the people that they intermarried with. And now you know what tribes you were associated with. Oh, it'll come to you. It'll come to you. And you'll be able to be more specific, right? But as of now, when you find that, that is your first bit of proof. You find anybody talking about their mulatto, the records say mulatto, Indian issue. And that's up until the 1960s. Late 1960s, 1967, 68. So now what? And they were like, show me your proof, you Indian. Show them that motherfucking census record from 1870 that says mulatto. That's your fucking proof. In Alabama. Motherfuckers make this shit all kind of crazy and stuff. We know they did the paper genocide. We know they did some pretty malicious things. We know they did a switcheroo. We know they switched some things around. But what they couldn't take, what they can't break is the one thing they'll try and duplicate, and that's your grandma and grandpa. They need your grandma and grandpa. Now we need to establish on whether or not they stayed here and still had allotments in other places and went to go visit that land, or if these pilgrims was coming here and all of a sudden they assuming the identity of Earlene Mae Jackson, Willie Mae Jackson, because we know, and I say this all the time, ain't no lady, no German Helda Hachenpfeffer Fugenglager coming over here in Indian territory, right? And we wouldn't notice. But if they coming over as Willie Mae Jenkins, Effie Robinson, right? Hannah, Pinky, Sally, Anna, Mary. We not thinking that these motherfuckers is coming from, they know Swedish meatballs. We ain't thinking these niggas is Bulgarian chocolates. Right? No idea. So it's very important that, you know, we get to it. The educable schools for Mississippi, whole different boarding school system. Definitely check those records. Family Search has a lot of those records. You can find them on Ancestry, but I generally know that Family Search has them very prominent. There's also card catalogs. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's card catalogs that you can also follow, and it leads you to WorldCat on the Family Search. It leads you to WorldCat, and it tells you where you can locate some of these books. If you go into WorldCat, you'll be able to see if libraries close to you have this book of genealogy with your family on it. So I'm working on somebody's genealogy, and I found it. Now I see all of these different names, and I'm, you know, trying to find some things to narrow out if this is his family members, because it's going into the 1600s and stuff like that. So now as I see these names, I kind of don't see them anymore. But now I find a song when I go looking at the men to deal with the wars and stuff. I find a whole battle song that's got all the men who I'm trying to figure out if these are the other, you know, the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th granddaddies. But there's a whole fucking song about this particular family. And they're the only niggas in the area, and the largest part of them all fought in the war. So now there's other little spicy meatballs for people that have family that were in the Kentucky area, or what is now known as Kentucky. Just so you know, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio was parts of Virginia at one point in time too, right? So even though they may have always been in Kentucky, they were in Virginia 1710. Kentucky was Virginia. So they were, right? They didn't really move anywhere, but they moved everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind. So when it gets to that next generation and you're like, I'm stuck here at 1820, Alabama, motherfucker, and Alabama didn't exist until 1819. So now look at the Spanish records here. Look at the West Florida records here, in which a lot of those records are in Spanish. But there are people that have done great service, and they have actually translated them for you. My dumb ass back in the days, I have 20 tabs open, 10 windows. I'm sitting there with the Portuguese translator, the Google translator, this and that for that language, and you go line by line, and it might take you a whole month just to get through one damn document. So I'm gonna run through these Nat Turner records, and then I'm gonna do the part 2, because I want to talk about that ceasefire again with the shit with these little rappers and shit like that, and all these other little dirty games. And I'm also gonna show how this tribal shit goes, and what titles, what places you should look, and how it all goes back to the Civil Rights Act. It's very important. So if you ain't got that memo, I'm gonna show you why you need to get to it, because a lot of shit, and this is also how you identify who benefits from it. Because if you notice, there's a lot of things that the Native American doesn't benefit from with the Civil Rights Act. But the Indian does. You need to keep that shit in mind. But the Indian does. I showed that letter talking about unorganized Indians, right? Unorganized. Aren't we fucking unorganized? Who do you think they're talking about? So you have the urban Indians who are unorganized. And then what was the Kia mentioned it before, straggling Indians. They also have a section in Congress that mentions straggling Indians. You guys need to look these things up. Yeah, they absolutely exist. So you have your unorganized, and then it tells you what the definitions of what the tribes are, what consists of a tribe, and things of that nature, right? So real brief. Hey, P. Parker, what's up, Levette? Hey, beauty. Really brief. I'm gonna have to save one because I got an appointment and I did not know that time was rolling, but I'm gonna come back because it's so fucking juicy and we gotta stay on the same page. So everybody got homework assignments. There's a lot of things that you could be looking at, and I hope that a lot of this stuff gives you a little insight, just so you know, kind of takes the focus off of whatever it is that you're stressed out about, but it gives you something else to think about, you know, that might be able to give you some sort of closure that you need for whatever reasons that you need it. You know what I'm saying? You got to trick yourself into feeling good about the things you may not be so happy about doing, but they got to get done nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you, I always handle the toughest shit first. I hated doing dishes. My sister tell you, nigga, I'm going to do the dishes first, because that's the shit that I like. I hated doing it. I don't like fucking doing dishes. And being that I don't like doing dishes, I want to hurry up and get this shit out the way so that I could, you know, have my own thing going on while everybody else is doing whatever it is they got to do. I'm just not going to let it last, you know, wait till the last minute and fuck that. I'm going to get the hardest shit out because I hate that shit. Hurry up and get it over. And if I do it quick, they can't see me sucking my teeth, stomping my feet, and none of that. You know what I'm saying? Mad at the motherfucker who didn't scrape all the rice off the plate and shit like that. That was me. I fucking hated that, right? Hated that. Nigga don't scrape they plate. Rice and corn in the same. Come on. Mama want to fight. Want to drop a bow on the motherfucker when you do that shit, right? It bothered me as an adult, so I know if they didn't like it shit. So, but yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me pull this up. So, give y'all a little caveat. Like I said, hit the like button, share, subscribe. Let them know we work over here. Let them know we work over here. You know, if they got it in their home, bang that cash app, hit that PayPal, pull up on us, buy that ticket. Johnny Aborigine, shout out to Johnny. Johnny will be with us on the tour. We got Chief Netcher. Pull up on each other in Philadelphia. Right, we're gonna make sure we take care of that. And we also gonna play it safe. But yo, I'm super excited. Any vendors, you got any other ideas? You definitely want to come through and pull up. You certainly can. You most certainly can. Definitely hit us up at nograndmakillers.com. Got a couple of new other vendors. What else do you have? Pull up. Let us know what it is. We definitely want to showcase it. Got a couple of people that got some dope music out. I can't wait to showcase that Aboriginal music. See, it's a beautiful thing now where we can vibe and we can ride and do some of our favorite pastimes, and we hear ourselves placed inside the narrative. I'm telling you, y'all brothers start making these Aboriginal lady, them copper colored songs and all that, and watch how these women have a different attitude. I'm gonna tell you brothers how to get them on the good side. Don't make them cry, baby, and make them feel safe. And they gonna make sure that you got the buttermilk pancakes and shit, not that box of complete shit these new bitches, the microwave mollies be making. We gonna get you an old bitch with an old name like Phyllis Pearl, gonna make you some motherfucking fluffy ass pancakes, baby. Start making that good music, make these women feel good, and watch that shit change. See if they be a little sweeter to you, honey, because they need to be. They need to be. Let's see. And if you sing her a love song and she don't appreciate it, slam the door in the bitch face and keep it moving, because there's another bitch that'll love the serenade. Understand. So, here we go. Where you at? Oh, let me drop this link right here for you guys so you guys can listen to Charlie Smith. There's plenty more of people on there as well. Let me drop that there for y'all. There's quite a few other people. Charlie isn't the only one there, but Charlie stuck out in my mind specifically because the nigga said he was 144 years old. And at the time where he took the picture with Ripley's, believe it or not, he was 113 and still working, picking fruit, and all this other stuff. So he lived into, I think it said 1975 in Florida, 144 years old, pretty spectacular. Says that he's an African coming from Liberia. He's an African, even though he's really an American. But yeah, we'll get to that later on in life. But I definitely wanted to make sure that I shared that shit with y'all, because I thought that shit was just too screamy, too much candy for $1, baby. So, give me 1 second. Okay, so we want to do the screen share right here. And I'm going to show you where to get the loot. Where to get the means is every single law. And we know statutes and regulation, statutes and codes are not law. But we do know where the law is hidden and how it is coded. So it's all one and the same. You figure it out, straighten it out in your mind. Don't listen to Moon. Research what Moon is telling you to look at. Okay? That's all. Okay. Boom. Boom shakalaka laka. Ta-da. Okay. So let me drop the link to this. And these are your federal rules and regulations. So this is also a good place to see if you feel that you think you know something about how Donald Trump is handling his right to clap back at Joe Biden. right? And these other little shicey motherfuckers. This is where you find your laws. Like, has anybody looked up the Constitution yet? No. Then there was another thing, and I'm going to have to come back with this part 2 and break down what's going on in New York so people could stop thinking that mandatory vaccine shit is really something like the bar really got that much juice. The New York State Bar Association, the Texas Bar Association, the California Bar Association are the most prominent in the United States. Meaning, if you get to pass one of those bars, because they're supposed to be so live. How live are they? They're so live that if you pass one of those bars, you're considered to be one of the best lawyers in the country. Bar! That's it. That's all they really about. That's it. They test a little longer than the nigga in West Virginia taking to pass the bar out there. A little longer than the one in Colorado, the nigga in Colorado taking. But the New York Bar Association is by no means, in no fashion, in no way, the New York legislature. Now, do they have influence? By far, because there's a lot of niggas out here hugging the balls of the foreigners, and they don't know what they're asking for. They're not asking for anything. I told you, these Democrats out here in New York, these bitches don't want a bridge. They don't want a door that's shut. They don't want a key to open up any of these other motherfucking doors. They don't want their own piece of land. They don't want their own playground. They don't want nobody to stop chasing their around. They don't want better parking spaces. They don't want clean fucking water. They just wanted Donald Trump to stop. Now the bitches got what they want. It should be business as usual. Get your hands up against the wall. A bunch of niggas get your hands out my pocket and freeze and shit like that. That's the type of shit. That's the type of shit. And it's the type of shit. And, you know, some people manifest these things in their law of attraction in their mind. They manifest all these fucked up things that happen to them. And then they're mad at the people that are not willing to have that shit permeate the fiction or dictate what the future is going to be for the American Indian. Right? And they'll be mad at you for that too. Damned if you do and damned if you don't. But I'm all right. I will be fine if I don't. Okay? No. No fucking thank you. Be no sucker. No, thanks. I'll pass on that. So we have CFR. Now this is Title 25, and this is where everything is for the Indians. So when I used to drive with no driver's license and I show it to the cop, I don't say it, especially if he's white. I would just show it to him. I'm a funny bitch. Now, the only place this might not work is in a metropolitan area, and I'm going to tell you something a little different about New York City. You cannot get to the sheriff here. But in other jurisdictions, if I'm in any other county or whatever, and the city police most certainly pull me over, you guarantee, bet your bottom dollar, a bitch like me on the phone with the sheriff, right? Before I even stop the car, I go through the roadblocks, I go through the DUI checkpoints, and when I pull my car over and stop where I feel like it, it's after I've already gotten the sheriff on the phone, so I can let him know that these state troopers, these police, these people here, it's already getting ready to be a confrontation. But bitch, you better let them know that I don't have this, I don't have that, and I don't have to. And I'm already, when I roll the window down and give you bitch ass officer 5 minutes in this much window, that nigga better know he's not taking my car, because I'm gonna let the bitch know I don't got no license and ain't nobody, you, no judge, or nobody gonna sit here and tell me that I'm required to have one, and I'm not gonna sit here and take you through the, well, I'm a passenger and I'm traveling. I'm not even getting the fuck into all of that. Let me just tell you, the fucking less you say, the better. The only time that I have admitted to ever being a fucking passenger is when a motherfucker that was actually driving admitted to being a fucking driver. Because if I open my mouth and call him a passenger, all that traveling shit he talked about proves that I've made a witness statement against him. I'm dropping down if I say that I'm a passenger. That means I paid this nigga to bring me from here and there. So when you act like it ain't a commercial vehicle, nigga, I'm calling myself a passenger is meaning you's a lie. Hope it makes sense to y'all. I'll just be freestyling, but I hope the shit makes sense. Because they be mixing all the information and shit like that. So I know it's kind of hard to stay focused and shit. You talk to these motherfuckers like Jesus talked to the Pharisees, and hey, you might not get that nightstick upside your head. You might not get hit like a pinata. Right? You might not. Lessens your motherfucking chances. And you can prove that you're actually traveling instead of that fucking commercial activity where they basically essentially trying to rob you on the highway. So in Title 25, I think it's chapter 13, subchapter 194, section 194. and all Charles and rights of property where Indian is on one end and a white person is on the other. What happened? What happened? What happened? They have to seize and circle. See, when it comes down to that, and it is a white person that stops you or a white person that interrupts you or tries to violate you, your person, property in some sort of way, the burden of proof is on them. So when you start volunteering information and making all these statements against yourself, it's kind of hard for you to get yourself out of something you got yourself into running your mouth. Because anything you say can and will be used against you. Right? So it can help you or it can hurt you. Think about it. Jesus, are you the son of man? Am I the son of man? Is that who y'all niggas think I am? Say what? Y'all niggas think I'm the son of man, son? You want me to admit to that? And if I admit to that, then what? I'm just supposed to sit here and fly over y'all heads so I can prove to y'all that I am the son of man. And then you're going to say, hey, he's wrong. His daddy ain't shit. His daddy gave him wings to fly and we can't fly. Right? It just would have ended up all bad. The nigga would have been wrong if he answered the right way, wrong if he answered the wrong way. Just damn, you killed him any fucking way. These motherfuckers wanted Barnabas. Leave that man alone, y'all. He's another that been lied on like motherfucking Donald Trump. Niggas lie on that nigga Jesus too. Gave him all these false expectations. He nigga got all these fucking assignments and shit like that, but can't nobody make it practical in their everyday motherfucking life. How long they gonna wait for that? We don't know. What's up, Haya? What's up, beloved? How you doing? He's got it there. Yeah, I've got it pulled up right here. I'm going to go through the whole title 8525, which is the title of Indians. And that's where the fuck you should be looking. And what they have done under Obama's watch, under your boy Barry's watch, is put in all these little finite codes and shit like that try to insert Native Americans. But down at the bottom, where it goes down to the law, the act that was passed, that shit says rights of Indians. Understand what I'm talking about? Whole different ball game. Whole different motherfucking ball game. Rights of motherfucking Indians. So what they gonna do about that? Can a Native American be an Indian? Could be. Can an Indian be a Native American? Absolutely. Right? But how? That should be how you dictate that, not how these niggas dictate it. So yeah, we got a problem. BIA, Department of Interior. It's gonna be a couple of motherfuckers that we gonna have to nook if you bump. So all this other stuff that we worried about, let's sharpen up the mind and get in somewhere where they're not looking for us to be. And that's in these motherfucking laws, statutes, codes, rules, and regulations. They're not expecting a nigga to be there. They're expecting them to cry about how broke they are and can't hire a nigga to come and lie to them and be their lawyer and tell them ain't none of this shit, nothing we can do, sir. I'm sorry, they're going to tell us this. You know how the lawyers do, the liars do after they take your motherfucking money. Hey, Tosh, Charlito. What's up, Mac, baby? You know how they do. You know how they do. You know how they do. Point 1, continuously or continuous means extending from first sustained contact with non-Indians throughout the group's history to the present, substantially without interruption. Okay, now, very important part. Right? So for the motherfuckers that tell you genealogy, isn't it? And you know why it's a lie? Because you have to have continuity. So now we know exactly where our folks were when the colonizers got here from the first contact of the non-Indians. We know the day the niggas bought smallpox in the hood, the same day, like we know the time when motherfuckers bought crack into the neighborhood, don't we? Yeah, we got to document that. Got to document that type shit, right? Got to bring it on back. Have that story. So this is why the genealogy is important. First and foremost, you got to talk about what were you doing when we got here. White people want to know. The white man want to know what y'all folks was doing when my folks done got on over here, right? And we got to say, well, look, we fed you motherfuckers grits through the winter of 1607. We fed you motherfuckers fruits and berries through the winter of 1610. We've been here. We've moved all around. We've went from Virginia to North Carolina. Oh, but then again, we really didn't go anywhere. But you put these imaginary fucking lines a long, fascinating story to fucking tell them. And then we fell asleep in one country in West Florida and ended up in Louisiana. And we ended up in Alabama and Mississippi and all these other places. Oh, aren't we confused? They want us to be confused, right? Oh, they just tried to move from here. This tried to move from there. Then they're saying, oh, there weren't no black feet over in North Carolina because the black feet are over here in Minnesota. Meanwhile, they don't tell the motherfuckers that they was taking the niggas from Halifax, North Carolina, over into Fort Snelling, into Minnesota black feet territory. Fuck out of here. Who they talking to? And why they always lying? Why they always lying? Because that's what they fucking do. And people let them. Light Hour, what's up, cousin? What's happening, beloved one? Albie, how you doing, beloved? These niggas always lying. That's Sister Celestine in there. What's up, boo? They always lying. So now, you need to have the 100 years of continuity in certain places. You need to know what's going on. But niggas is saying genealogy don't mean nothing. They want to spend time talking about the Olmecs and shit. Well, whether or not you want federal recognition or you want federal acknowledgement as an American Indian or acknowledgement of recognition as a Native American, you should know what the criteria are. What are they? You should know what they are. You should know. So, continuously or continuous means extending from first sustained contact with non-Indians throughout the group's history to the present substantially without interruption. So you got to know where grandma and them went at every time. When they moved to Baton Rouge, did they move over here to Galveston? Did they go over here? And then back in the 1810s, they left here and fled that war, and daddy went and signed up over there. And then they left over here on the Trail of Tears and ended up down in Arkansas. Yeah, that type of shit. Right? So those are the type of things that you have to have documented. You have to be able to flash that on random, right? They're not going to, you got to be sure that you'll be able to do that. So, department means the Department of the Interior. And these might be some places that need to go, we might these see completely eradicated, gone, or whatever. We may find them useful, but we don't know because we ain't never had a chance to activate it. And the longer these niggas keep acting like just the lowly aboriginals from the middle of no motherfucking where, ain't nobody gonna want to hear us and take us seriously enough to assess whether or not this is something that we supposed to have together or some shit that, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. So, historical or history means dating from first sustained contact with non-Indians. Indian group or group means any Indian or Alaska Native aggregation within the continental United States that the Secretary of the Interior docs acknowledge to be an Indian tribe. So now these are just things to get acknowledged as an existing tribe on whether or not, hey, are the such and such is real? Not if these niggas don't say so, even though we are very fucking real. The Mattamuskeet, very real. The Matta woman, very real. The fucking Wyanoke, very real. The Nottoway, very real. But if we don't have these criteria, they're going to be like, I don't see nothing. I didn't see nothing. Remember Woody Woodpecker with the bowl of alphabet soup and the nigga Buzzing kept shoving his head in the soup and he like, can you read it? And he's like, I can't see a thing. But the words really spelled out in the soup, I can't see a thing. And that nigga kept putting his head in the soup like, you see it now, nigga? That nigga was like, I can't see a thing. Well, that's how the Department of Interior likes to pretend that we don't exist. Like, I can't see a thing. Well, we have to do some things in order for them to make sure that they can see us. Can you see us now, niggas? Right? Yeah, can you see us now? And how they can see us is with grandma and grandpa. They can't avoid us any other way. We've come to them with all these other different bullshit theories and shit, but we ain't never came to these niggas with grandma and grandpa. That is the fucking tomahawk of all fucking tomahawks. That's the goddamn Scud missile. Scud. Drop Scuds, right? And at that point, Dwight and them can pretty much do everything they want to do except take the American Indian for blood clot idiot. Huh? That is absolutely it. Ah, man, I hope y'all with all of this, yo. Y'all gotta understand where I'm coming from. Definitely want to just make sure everybody know how to get access to what they need to get access to, so they can read up on their own, man. Because these niggas be lying to y'all, and I just kind of like make it simple so you can sell the truth. So when they come trying to sell you all the water under the bridge, you like, nah, son, nah, don't need that, son. Let them know. You know what I'm saying? Let them know. Now you know where you got it from. I appreciate everybody hitting that Cash App, hitting that PayPal. It's so dope. Thank you. Certainly appreciate it. $1, $5, $10, generous, $25, whatever. It's all appreciated. It definitely is. I feel the love a little bit. So, documented. Now, the petition. Who generally fills out these petitions? Is there anybody qualified? Are they aware of what it is that goes, that is required by these specific petitions? What do these petitions do? How many numbers do you need for the petitions to make it something that they will acknowledge and look at? All of these things make sense. Right? All of these things make sense. And there's a process to it. And there's a process to it that we all have to work on actively, figure out, conquer, and make that the model for the grandkids, the great grandkids. You know, that chief shit that we supposed to be thinking like for the 7 generations ahead. To where that's all that they know. This is how we grow, but that'll be all that they know. We're growing as we are building this, and we know what history is going to be because we're writing it right now. We're making history right now. Huh? You know what everybody else is thinking, but this shit right here, can't nobody fuck with it. Can't nobody touch it. This is why they went into all these areas to try and tear it down, because it's strong, and niggas, you and huff and puff, but you ain't blowing grandma's house down. Ain't blowing grandma's house down. I don't care with the leaky roof. I don't give a damn with the faulty bathroom, the fucking toilet that you got to tie the string to flush the motherfucker. Grandma's house still motherfucking fortified. You better believe it. You best believe it. T-God, what's happening with you? What's happening with you? Yes. Indiana. Fascinating history. I'm gonna have to do something personal with Indiana. So and shout out to the people that give me different places to look in, like, because this, genealogy will bring you, and not everybody's from the same places we are from. So when we get to look into these other places where not only did they pass through, but they actually had, a lot of things going on, politics heavily involved in a lot of these places. So sometimes you come out of looking at just the general census records, and then you have to go for the not so obvious things to find out more about your ancestors and stuff. So it kind of sends you in different places. Shout out to Real Rap. I was talking at Real Rap, and he was putting me on to a lot of stuff that he saw in Montana when he goes out there to work and stuff like that. So some of the things that he sees, and I noticed those things, a lot of the different structures in California, for instance, right? And I lived in what's called like the Avocado Valley or Rainbow Valley area, right over where Riverside and San Diego County meet, right? Thank you, G Major, where Riverside and San Diego County meet. And as you're on the 15 freeway going southbound towards San Diego, you can see that these mounds, right where everybody goes to get sage. Well, I don't know everybody, but my daughters and I used to go right on the highway, especially in like that Rainbow Canyon area, to get fresh white sage. It just grows wild out there. It's the most aromatic, just beautiful area. That smell is so fresh and so clean over there. So we just go over there and we get the wild sage that grows over there. But you can see that these clearly look like mounds that they just basically plowed through and put a fucking highway or interstate through the middle of these mounds, and they look completely chiseled off. They're all finished pretty much the same way, like they're hiding stair steps, and of course they have a peak and whatnot, and completely interesting. So don't let me deter you. But if you're going down the fucking 15 freeway and maybe you're in the passenger side, you might want to look around, especially right before you're in that North Dago area, NoCal, they call it, of Dago, Northern County. Dago area, you definitely going to see that shit. You definitely going to see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. Whether you look to the far right or look to the close right, the mountain that you're going to hit if you ain't paying attention to the road, that's the motherfucker I'm talking about. Look like it got straight up pyramid stair steps and staircases to it. Completely fascinating. You know damn well that I'm going to say this, had they came to California first, as opposed to the East Coast, they'd have had a hard time because, California got cliffs this high and valleys that motherfucking low. So if you can't climb up to the cliff, nigga, you can drop 10,000 feet to your doom. Very interesting landscape, and damn well it was not easy to get them motherfuckers. I don't care. You got extreme. You have extreme deserts. There's I got lost in the Mojave Desert on my 40th birthday. So I'm telling you, that shit is extreme and it's freezing at nighttime. Don't just assume a desert is heat, dry all the motherfucking time. It's like that in the daytime, but at nighttime it's the same as any fucking igloo or snowdrift. Your ass could be trapped under too. Freezing, just like that. So you have all different types of terrain. You have some tropical areas. You have different areas, Bear Mountain, or certain areas where it does get really cold and it snows. So it's a little different. They're all different types of climates and temperatures just within that state alone. So you'll definitely see a lot of those things. Utah, beautiful place. We need to visit these places. Again, there may not be a whole bunch to these places, but they're places that they made us feel like we shouldn't go visit. Right? Iowa is a state that is very close to Illinois. Iowa is a state that a lot of our family members have went to, and we're dismissing them. Now, keep in mind, when they establish some of these places in statehood and you see your grandma, grandfather's name over there, and of course, and then the coincidence, you have everybody in the household that has the same fucking name as they did when they were in, Georgia or Virginia or Alabama. And you see that there's this mass migration. You no longer see most of those family members in those areas. Now you see them over in Iowa or Indiana and stuff like that. But people will be dismissive of it because in their mind, they don't think that their family had any means to do any better, right? Because some people, well, not everybody, but there are a lot of people that still believe that their folks are slaves. So it's kind of difficult to say Papa Joe was like, fuck that. I don't like the price of tea over here in motherfucking Shreveport. We about to move the family over to Baton Rouge. I got cousin Willie over there. We're going to help that nigga with the farm until we figure something out. Right? Those are some of the things that occurred. So now when you see them over there, you like, wait a minute, that ain't my family and this and that. Not even realize it. But when it went over there, him and cousin Willie went to buy some land. And guess what? In Iowa, Indians are white. Right? So now you think you lost him on the trail, but you really didn't. That's really him, nigga. That's him and Uncle Willie. But the laws said that they were going to classify all Indians as white. Also, look at the state censuses. Alabama was every 2 years. New York is every 5 years. They have different, some states are every 3 years, triannually, decennial. Some people want them in concurrence with the federal census every 10 years or whatever. Definitely check out what your state censuses say, because that gives you a lot, especially because we have a 20-year gap, right? Where we don't see anything. It goes from 1880 straight to 1900. We missed out on the 1890s. So that's a 20-year gap that if somebody died the month after this last census was taken and you see them in 1881, everything kind of gets cold after that. So even if you were able to, you still haven't been able to figure out how the fuck you got here, kind of thing, on some of those lines, which is really weird. So it could get cold at that point too, going forward, right? And that could also be a reason. Back to Kentucky. Kentucky had the most people that died that participated in the War of 1812. The most niggas that died came from the state colony area of Kentucky. Just so you know. So if there are a lot of people missing from those areas and you don't see them anymore in different records, and check and see if there are some family Bibles. I actually have a few links. When I do the second part of this, I'm going to drop those Bible links because people are holding on to your fucking family's Bible, right? Because they ain't never went back down to Mississippi to check on their grandpa land. And when they done bulldozed that little shed, grandpa had a chest in there, them fucking thieves, culture vultures, and stole the fucking chest with your great-great-great-grandma pictures and shit like that. The one that was 7 foot tall that had hair down to her fucking ankles and shit. Niggas is holding on to our shit, and we don't even know because we ain't into our fucking folks. We ain't into our folks the way them folks is into ours. If only we had that same zest and zeal. And this is some of what it is that we're looking to do at this point right now. Make sure that we don't run out of that zest and zeal, right? For our ancestors. That's facts. We definitely don't want to do that. Definitely. Hold on one second. Okay. So Indian group or group means any Indian or Alaska Native aggregation within the continental United States that the Secretary of the Interior does not acknowledge to be an Indian tribe. Okay, let me read that again. Indian group or group means any Indian or Alaska Native aggregation within the continental United States that the Secretary of the Interior does not acknowledge to be an Indian tribe. Indian tribe, also referred to herein as tribe, means any Indian or Alaska Native tribe, band, pueblo, village, or community within the continental United States that the Secretary of the Department of Interior presently acknowledges to exist as an Indian tribe. Indigenous means native to the continental United States in that at least part of the petitioner's territory at that time of sustained contact extended into what is now the continental United States. So, again, now these are going to be, I think I dropped that in there. Hold on one second. Let me make sure I put that in there for you guys to be able to look at. Now I'm going to stop there and we're going to come back to this and get back to it. Let me put this in here for you guys. I don't want to give you too much. And you'd be like, Phoenix, I'm going too fast. I'm going too fast. Remember niggas told me, this is an advanced channel. I don't know what else to tell you, nigga. This is a channel full of winners, and I'm happy to see y'all here. Because clearly y'all niggas about winning too, and y'all the niggas that we need, and I'm the nigga that y'all need. Let's get it together. And take care of each other. Take care of yourself, most importantly. Don't skip past nobody else. To do nobody else better than you gonna do yourself. Because these niggas will take advantage, and they'll leave you with nothing else. Nothing left, right? And still leave your ass on the ground after they done burnt your ass out. Fuck all that. All them days is over. All them days is over. We're going to make sure we take care of each other. But most importantly, we take care of ourselves. And I look out for you. You look out for me. Because now we know we got motherfuckers looking out for each other. That means that we got some support. Niggas might act a little different. It's a little different when you feel like you all alone in the world. Nigga, you worried about grandma and grandpa business. You worried about what it's going to be like for your next 5, 6, 7 generations. Then you the person that I'm talking to. I'm the person you need to speak to. And you the one that I need to talk to too. We got to figure out something. We got the same common interests. And as far as our political interests, there's 3 types of criteria that we are looking for specifically. We want to make sure that we dealing with the people that are against the same shit that we are against. We are also looking for the niggas that are for the shit that we are for, right? Whether we agree with everything else they got going on or not, for the ones that are against everything that we're against, whether we agree with everything else they got going on or not, that is something that can connect us and be solid about. And the next instance, for the people that agree with the things that we agree with. And then there's the third motherfucker that got all complete of the same stakes that we all do, right? We all in it for the long haul. We in it to win it. They against what we against, and they for what we for. And it's team grandma and grandpa over here, right? We gonna be in this shit to win it. Ain't nobody gonna take it away. It ain't going away, and can't nobody do nothing with it but us. We gonna win with it, right? Check that. Check that. So I'll be back in a couple more hours. I love you, beautiful ones. It's definitely dope to see y'all. I appreciate the love. I definitely want to come back. We're going to drop the rest of this Title 25, and I'm going to fucking get in Nat Turner's business. Y'all going to trip. Everybody take a little break, little smoke break, get your little coffee or something, tea, little tea in or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's not feeling well today, right? That is having any physical ailments and shit like that. We want to make sure that you're strong for the long haul. We need you motherfuckers around, yo. Stay healthy, stay healthy. Nothing but well wishes, love, peace, and hair grease. Take care of each other. Most importantly, take care of yourselves. I'll be back in a couple hours. Holla.